Now, what is a catchphrase, or when you try to monetize something, or right, or you try to trademark something, right? And what does all that mean? Well, that's like Coca-Cola is the trademark, right? The drink is sold, right? Or Pepsi, right, is the trademark, right? But does that mean you can't use Pepsi, right? Or have a can of Pepsi, right? In your video, if you bought a can of Pepsi, right? For example, either. No, no, right. Right. Now, if Pepsi puts out a t shirt with Pepsi logo on it, right? That's something you can't do, right? That's not your logo. That's not your logo, right? But at the same time, if you got a Pepsi can and you're drinking it in a video, Pepsi can't say, well, oh, you owe us money for that. No, no. For example. Now, if you have a good line in a movie, right, and I use that line myself, I'm quoting you then, right? But what you're selling ain't that one line either. Either it's the whole movie, it's the whole movie. But if it's a good line and I start using it, I'm quoting you or I'm agreeing to the line, right? And that becomes fair use material, right? If it's just one line, right? But like I came up with SHIT to mean some human intestinal turd, right? Does that fit? Yeah. But can I copyright it? No. Am I the only one who can come up with that? I guess so far. No one else used it yet. But me so far, right? But it fits perfectly with both that it is waste in some human intestinal turd, right? It's what it can represent, right? Or be the acronym for, right? But why is the word itself a sin or not a sin, right? And when did God come down from heaven and tell these people who made it wrong to say it, right? It was wrong to say it. Or is the devil telling them it's wrong to say it? And they think they can condemn us for it, right? Which really condemns them for saying it or thinking it, right? You understand, right? If you try to send people to hell over a word, Christian, and you think the word, you'll go to hell before the person who said the word, right? Because they said the word knowing its meaning. Right? Right. So who are you helping by telling people they're going to hell for saying certain words, right? Jesus and God or the devil, right? The devil, the devil. See, that's called making a word, whatever problem you have with it, that you're offended by, and censoring the word from a voice you're hearing in your head, right? That's telling you to condemn people who use that word, right? Would God do that or Satan? You won't ask that question either, right? What you do instead is you go with the voice that says that, and you start telling people not to use the word, right? Which is censorship, by the way, of the word, right? And you act like it's punishable, or something bad will happen to someone who says the word, yet people say the word anyway. Oh, that's a bad word. Well, who said? Who said? Like Jesus asked him, who told you were naked, right? Who told you not to use these words, right? Where in the Bible does it say, hey, there's a list of words I don't want you to use ever, right? Even if they have a meaning behind them, right? Or you're going to hell. Yeah. Or is what you're doing, right, not accepting the meaning of the word, either. And you're trying to do people to make them think they're doing something wrong and telling them not to say the word in front of you because you're offended by it, right? Ain't that all you're doing? Yeah. But who told you to do that? With that one word, right? Was it an angel from God or heaven, right? Or was it Satan and the demons from hell? What do you think it means when John says, try the spirits to see if they be of God, right? If a spirit is telling you something about a word made up, right, to represent something like going to the bathroom, right, and you make that word a bad word, right, who told you that word was a bad word, right? Man or God, right? Man. Men said the word S-H-I-T is a bad word, right? Not God. But men want to pretend, right? You can't say the word in front of them, right? Or in church, right? Or what, you'll go to hell? See, that's what I mean, right? That's a threat, right? That the word, in your opinion, right, is a violation of something it's not a violation of. The Bible don't say you can't give a name for your feces. Not a name for it. Other than number 2 or doo-doo, right? No, I don't. But those sound like nicer words or something. Seriously. Then S-H-I-T? I don't know if I got permission to say it yet. Myself. So, it is the word, but I said it slowly in 2 parts, right? Shot and it. Right? Just like nig and ain't a bad thing to say, right? But it is a bad word to some people, so we don't say it as one word if we're respectful of that, right? But who does the word bother? The people who we are focusing on their skin color, and that is dark or black. They're not black as say the color there. No one's skin is that black. So is it really a black skin color even? No. But that's what you call them. Like they are, right? Because I told you the origin of the word is Portuguese for black, right? But they changed it as well because people started abusing it in the South, yeah. Right. But if you look at older dictionaries, right, they'll tell you the word is of Portuguese origin, right? Yep. Which is close to Spain, which is Negro, right? You see some of the familiarities of it, right? There's an NGR there too, right? But why does one word, though again, bother you more than the use of another word that means the same thing? Right. See, that's the point, right? Who's causing you an offense in the first place, right? Is how the person is using the word, perhaps, maybe. But if I said I just took a SHIT, do you not know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. But you want me to say doo doo, or poo poo, or number two, or crap, or I laid a turd. I mean, come on. That don't bother you? But the word SHIT does. Mm-hmm. Shah it. Shah it would. I didn't say that. Well, how do you find this word in the Bible, which has to do with a type of tree, I guess, right? Yet, you cut the tree down and, and the pieces is little shit pieces from the shittim wood. If you know what I mean. I guess. I'm asking a question though, right? Why do these people who censor these words in the first place, right, like the parents of kids, even think that God told them this, right? It's like, fighting over land that God tells both people there to inhabit, right? But not wanting to share the land either, right? That ain't an option, right? I mean, seriously, right? I know. If their God is telling them it's their land, their God is telling them it's their land, but they don't want to live together on the land, they're having a war over the land. Oh, no. But wait a minute. Ain't both thinking some deity is telling them they want them on the land? Yeah. Well, if so, right, what does that mean it wants them to do? Fight over the land or share the land? There you go. All right. Both can live on the land together, can't they? That's right. I mean, no one can live in the same house as one person, but if it's a land, you gotta build a house, right? And whoever can afford the house moves into the house, right? Right. Things like that. Simple logic, right? To me, seems crazy to you. Mm-hmm. So is that why I'm diagnosed with schizophrenia? Because I wouldn't do something my shipmates wanted me to do, but don't recall doing it. But you're saying, over 30 years later, someone's saying they're that same person and trying to change the story. Okay. Not I can do about that either, right? But if after 30 or so years, right? 23, right? Right. 93, right? And 23, right? Is 30 years, right? But I ain't seen him since I dated women after, before, and during, right? So you're trying to change my story, which is all I can point out from Georgia. No. And what can I do about it? Nothing. Say you're wrong, say you're lying, say you're making it up. That's not true, right? And that's because, right, of the nature of the UCMJ at the time, which condemned such actions, right? Which I knew about, of course, right? Through how? Common sense, right? Being told before I joined the military, you can't be gay in the military, right? Either, right? Exactly. But if being remember something and I don't, someone's lying to you if I don't remember it the same as them. Can he give a location on the ship, for example? Or, it does take both of us at least to be partially undressed to have any form of sexual contact anyway. We can't do it in front of the other shipmates or we get caught. Right, there you go again, right? And then we're both, whether I gave her a receipt or he gave her a receipt, which, I guess you're assuming he gave or I gave, right? And again, I don't recall either way, giving or receiving a bit. Right. That's all I can tell you. All I can tell you. Though if he said it, it must be true. Huh? Right? No. No. Damn. Damn. But hearing voices gives you a mental defense. Even if some people don't hear voices, Tom Cruise, if some people do, I know. Do you think we're not having some kind of mental strain and don't need to be dealt with? Possibly, not possibly, or positively, both, both. Right, right. Now, not everybody, I guess, has this problem, and I don't know if you hear voices, Tom. I never heard you say you do, and I never heard you say you don't. Right. But if you did, would you be afraid to admit it? That's the question, too. Right. But I guess that means whatever thoughts go through your brain when the Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem happened, right? It wasn't part of that flow. Up till then, right? Kind of booming too, but, clear, right? Let's say, like, people chanting Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem 3 times, right? Right, right. In my head, though, not right. Part of anything I was thinking, but being on watch and down in the watch area, and making sure the generator was running for 4 hours. Exactly. So again, right. Before that, I hadn't heard nothing like that either. I would have said before that, being a religious person, God spoke to me, right? Though I am also religious, right? I also know it's weird for people to hear voices, right? But if I had heard them before then, right, I would think that would bolster my claim to be one to witnesses, right? Right. Unless that's when I actually heard it, right? And I didn't hear it until then, right? There you go, too, right? So again. But that's 93, right? Not 91, right? Which is when I got back to the division around April, after going to the galley for 3 months, right? Then in August, we went overseas, right? And see, that's why I'm saying, well, if you said 3 times Ben did something with me, right? What are the dates, right? You got August to March, right? Then the following year, we went March to September or August, right? See, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, April, May, June, July, September. April, May, June, July, August, September. Right. So again, I get back, I go home, right? I get back, I start meeting women again, right? Trying to date again, right? Mm-hmm. She done broke up with me, so I'm trying to move on too, right? Meet the old lady at the club with the daughter that turned out kind of weird the next morning, right? Mm-hmm. Met Lisa, mm-hmm. Tanya, and then Stephanie, right? Now, one of them, I don't remember her name, right? Right. But two of them were wanting money in exchange for sex, right? Mm-hmm. One wanted over 120, but settled for 80, and I was to pay her 40 later. And the other one wanted only 50, right? Mm-hmm. And again, right? We went to our home, we did it in the home, and then we left. Brought me back to the base, right? Mm-hmm. That I recall perfectly. No problems. I can tell you that. I know. That was between at least September to October. Mm-hmm. After getting back from leave from my mom's house, right? I know. I think I went to leave, right? Again. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. I know. Or did I? I don't remember now. mm. Right. Right. I know. Mm. But is this memory loss or amnesia, right? Right? Confusion or, trying to make sure I'm telling the facts straight, right? And again, right? Mm-hmm. This is something you can deal with or might have to deal with at any time too. Normal, long term, 30 years ago, that the details are somewhat there, but still not. Something's seeming a little off, but you're not sure what. All right. Well, usually we get at least 2 weeks leave when we get back. One takes the first 2 weeks and the other the second 2 weeks, right? So let's say we got back September 15th, right? I will be back by the beginning of October for my leave, right? If I went first, right? So by the um by the middle of the month, I had met Stephanie, is all I know. Mm-hmm. And we went to the motel 3 weeks, 2 weeks in a row, right? Mm-hmm. But the first week was the three girls, three women, three women. Mm-hmm. The ones in the club I met, there were three of them, but only one of them let me stay at her apartment, right? Then I met Lisa. We did it in a gated community where she had a passcode for. Mm-hmm. Then Tanya, we went to her home, I guess, right? And then Stephanie, I met at the base um, pass office, right? So you can get your car on base, right? Right. So that's again, right? 93 too, after hearing the voices too, right? Those still like Hosea or Samson, right? Confused about who I'm supposed to marry or be with sexually, right? But what is old and what is new, right? What's the difference, right? Did Samson try to stone the harlot he was with, or was he with her and then went on and was with Delilah next? Right. Now his wife was, the first wife he had, right? Though he was doing her during the marriage ceremony too, right? You think not, right? Right. For the first few days, right? It's the marriage feast at the father's house, but they're still being together, right? For the first time, right? Until he asks his riddle. And that's when the SHIT hit the fan. Ever heard that thing? But that's the sin. That's the sin. You're going to hell. You can't say that word, sir. Who said? Who said? Who told you that, right? That's condemning me just for saying one word, which isn't written in the Bible as something good or bad. Don't know. to say. The Bible don't spell out the word SHIT and say you can't use it. No, it don't. Nowhere. They're even the semblance of the word SHIT. Alone. I don't explain shit of wood, however you say it. SHITTUM. Type of wood. But you can't say it now. It's a sensitive word. It's a banned word on TV or even public speaking, right? Blah. Does it have a meaning? Yeah. So it's not a made up word, right? To mean what it means, right? Kind of fits what you're doing, doesn't it? But you going to hell, or I don't want you to say it around my kid, but my kid probably heard it from your kid, but whatever, right? And then you're being crazy. Do you see what you're doing? You're condemning people for one little word. I know. And trying to censor the word so nobody ever says the word again, right? Why? You're trying to control them. You're offended because something inside you, when you hear the word, I guess the first time, made you think, oh, that's such a bad word. I think people go to hell for saying that word. No, they don't. Do you know how many people would be in hell for saying that word? Who said that word? Oops. Now, if you condemn people for saying the word, but you heard the word, you think the word, even you don't go to hell for that, do you? No. But you gotta say the word, you go to hell. No, I don't go to hell for that either. That's not why I'm going to hell. But you might for condemning people for saying the word after so long here, right? 120 years is what Moses said. 70 or 80 is what David said. How long did he live to? About that age? Well, that age, right? And during the Middle Ages, they're not living much past 50. Or the Dark Ages, even, right? I know. Some of them are barely making it to the age mentioned in the Bible, about 50. Right. But now we're living longer again, huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, think about it. But like I told you, right? If the word's uncensored, I guess you could never say it. Unless, again, people start letting it slide more or something. Right. I don't know. Right. But do what you gotta do, I guess. Right. Right.